I just saw a small teenager deadlift 350 kilograms conventional. This happened today, still in shock. The kid looked no older than 16. He was quite short and looked like he weighs 60-65 kg. He did no warm-up. He added some weights onto the bar and just deadlifted it conventional. Regular gym goers know that this isn't normal. I even made sure they are real weights. The kid had no lifting straps, no belt, no chalk, nothing. He left the gym after that. WTF is happening? By the way, the gym I go to is small and this happened at 4 a.m., so it was only me, him, and this old lady at it. I went to the gym today at the same time. He wasn't there. I'll let you know if I see him again, and fuck it, I'll just ask him loads of questions. Chances are he just used a friend's code to enter the gym because I've never seen him before until yesterday. Wife's missing engagement and wedding ring? My wife had taken her engagement and wedding rings off over 2 years ago when she was pregnant and when they started to become uncomfortable to wear. We thought we had placed it in the jewelry box. After about 6 months, when her fingers returned to normal, she went looking for the rings. They were nowhere to be found. We searched extensively throughout the house, including both of us searching all her jewelry boxes and any other potential places. We would randomly search every few months in the same places again. Last week, we looked at the jewelry box, and it was sitting in it in plain sight. A box both of us had searched extensively over the past 2 years. Where were the rings all this time? We don't have anyone that would be going through these items in our house other than us. Just odd. Just saw myself sitting in my office chair. I just experienced a glitch in the matrix. I was walking back to my office after picking up documents from a hallway printer. As I approached my office, I saw myself sitting in my office chair. I kept walking past my office to the end of the hall, turned around, and came back to an empty office. Must have reset the glitch when I walked past. Really weird experience. I think I experienced a glitch in the matrix, but my brain refuses to believe it. Myself and my now ex-wife went to a very cold American football game where we were very bundled up. She always wore these nice diamond stud earrings that had previously been her grandmother's. When we got home, one of the studs was missing. We looked in her winter hat, assuming it had gotten caught in it. Wasn't there. We turned the car we had taken inside out and couldn't find it. We retraced our steps at the stadium and had security check thoroughly in the section where we had been sitting, and still no luck. After a couple of unsuccessful calls to Stadium Lost and Found over the next few weeks, we accepted that it was gone and we weren't going to find it. Fast forward approximately 6 years. I was at the grocery store and opened one of the reusable grocery bags, and that earring with the freaking back on it. I literally use this bag once or twice a week, so how could I have missed it for all that time? I then assumed it had to be the earring that hadn't been lost, and somehow made it into the bag. When I got home, I looked, and that one was still there, so it was a complete set again. So seriously, WTF, there is no way that earring originally got lost in that bag and evaded detection for all those years and all those times the bag was used. I mean, it was just sitting in the bag. There are no weird nooks or crannies that it could have gotten stuck in. The biggest thing, though, is how the fuck did it have its back attached? If it fell out, the back wouldn't have been there. My rational brain thinks there just has to be a normal explanation, but I just can't think of one. Lady disappeared. I was doing a walking tour, and right at the start there's a public toilet. It's one of those box cubicles in the street that you put a coin in to unlock the door and it washes itself after some time. Well, there was a queue of people who wanted to use the toilet before starting the tour, and I joined the queue. People are coming in and out. We get to the last 3 people in the queue, and an older lady is taking a really long time in the cubicle. We start to worry something happened to her, so I knock. No answer. I knock again and shout to her, no answer. I realize the green vacant light is on. I put a coin in, open the door. The cubicle is empty. Everyone swears they saw this woman go in. There's a line of people standing by the door with their legs crossed, waiting for their turn to use it. Surely someone would have noticed if anyone came out. Anyway, she disappeared. Missing wallet reappeared in my pants while I was wearing them 3 months later. In June, I lost my wallet after a night out. I'm pretty responsible and don't lose important things often. It was very bizarre. I was out at a bar with some friends. walked home, and had a recollection of taking my wallet out of my pants at the end of the night. I was a little tipsy, but not hammered. I use a slim wallet that only holds a couple cards, not the big, bulky type, and I keep my wallet in my front pocket. The next day, my wallet was gone. I called the bar, called the police station. It was nowhere. No one used my card, so I didn't think it was stolen, and I was determined to find it. It had my license and a couple of credit cards in it, and I didn't want to go through the hassle of ordering new ones. My condo is only 850 square feet, and I live alone, so I don't have that much stuff around. I searched literally every drawer and crevice, and it never showed up. I reluctantly attributed it to having one too many that night, even though that didn't seem fair or really explain it. After about 5 days, I caved and ordered a new license, cards, wallet, etc. It's now a Friday in September. This might be gross to some of you, but I always wear the same pair of pants to work for a week straight, changing my shirt-undershirt along the way, of course. I don't have a washer-dryer at my place, so this cuts back on laundry, and I sit at a desk all day, so it's not like they get dirty. So, since it's Friday, it's the 5th time this week I've worn these pants. I've also worn and washed them several other times since June. I just got home from work and went to take my wallet out of my pants and put it on the counter like I do every day, and have done every day this week. There were 2 wallets in my pants, the new one and the old one with all my cards still in it. I'm sitting here in absolute shock, somewhere in between laughing and panicking at the absurdity of it. Strange experience has me wondering if I'm losing it. Just a bit of background. No serious mental health problems other than some mild anxiety and depression. I take 25 mg of Zoloft, so I don't think I'm tripping or hallucinating. This morning I woke up for work, left a little earlier than usual because I woke up before my alarm. Filled my water bottle, grabbed my access card and got in my car and drove off. My commute is the same every day. 40 mins, it's mostly interstate, there's always traffic. While my car is warming up, Subaru Samarite, I pick an album to listen to for the drive there. I usually make it about 3/4 of the way through an album before I get to work. Every day is a new album, so I did all that. I drove to work, I remember being cut off. I remember being in standstill traffic towards my exit. I remember the album I listened to. I even remember responding to a text using Siri. I remember seeing a type of car I've never seen before in the US. I remember thinking to myself, I'm glad it's not as hot today. I definitely drove, so I get to work, pull into the same parking space I take every day, step out of my car, and lo and behold, I'm still in front of my apartment building, 40 mins later, almost done with the album I put on. My dad talked to my doppelganger while I was in my room. This happened a few years ago, but we realized it while discussing it today. My dad showed me how he opened my door, and I immediately went, "That's not where my door handle is." And we told each other our story in detail. So this is what happened. My room's door had a curtain over it because I accidentally break the door's glass over and over again since my childhood. So in order to have privacy, we had a green curtain over. While my dad is in front of the curtain, he saw a hand reaching for him through the curtain, so he thought it was me joking, and he tried to hit the hand. When he tried to reach, the hand was moving backwards and Dad couldn't feel the hand at all. It was empty. The hand wasn't visible, only the movements of it. Me, I think I was 17 or 18 at the time, was in my bed reading. My dad randomly opened my door and asked, "That wasn't your hand, right? You're not baiting me." And I didn't know what he was talking about. I answered, "What hand? What are you talking about?" Then he told me a hand reached out for him under the curtain. I said, "No, it wasn't me. I was here reading my book." So from my perspective, I thought he had this experience outside my room before entering it. While discussing it today, he told me he experienced it while he was in my room. This is his perspective. He says that he came to my room to do something, and I was in my room too. I got up, opened the door, closed it, and went to the living room. A hand reached through the curtains for him, so he thought I was trolling, tried to hit it. Then he went to the living room because that's where I went, and he saw me sitting there by myself. He asked me if the hand was mine, and I said, "No, it wasn't," aka my doppelganger. Then the doppelganger got up, went to my room again. Dad spent some time in the living room, telling this story to my mom, etc. Then he came back and opened my door, asked me, "You're not baiting me, right? That really wasn't your hand?" He says that this is his second time asking it since I answered the first one in the living room. I didn't answer the first one. He only asked me once, and I was in my bed while answering it. That's why all this time I thought this thing has happened outside my room, while my dad swears he chased me to the living room because he thought I was trolling him. I was in my room the whole time and didn't even see my doppelganger myself. But my dad chased her, asked her a question. She answered, went back to my room. So after some time passed, my dad came back to ask me again to make sure I ain't trolling. I genuinely remember how I didn't understand his question. I was like, hand? WTF, what hand? What are you talking about? If I heard that question before, I wouldn't be that confused. Edit, a couple weeks before this, I saw my mom's doppelganger checking on me while I was sleeping. It was 7 a.m., so it was morning. I opened my eyes and saw her going back inside. I chased her to ask Mom what happened, only to find my real mom is in a deep sleep. So this isn't something my dad created. There might be a shapeshifter in the house. Also, my mom is overweight, so she couldn't jump right back to bed while I'm chasing her. She's too slow for that.